Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to my channel English Superstars. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon because this is the platform where you're going to get everything that you're looking for. Let's get started. In the previous video we talked about semantics, its types and its major three theories, that is naming theory, conceptual theory and sign theory. In this video, we are going to talk about the semiotic theory of triangle given by Ogden and Richards, because in the previous one, we talked about the one given by Saussure. If you haven't watched the video, go watch that first, because this is the part 2 of the same video. Then we are going to talk about reference, thoughts, referent, and symbols. We're going to talk about the limitations and the criticism done on the conceptual theory of meaning, and we are going to conclude the whole lesson today. Let's get started. The semiotic theory of triangle given by Ogden and Richards. The semiotic theory introduces a multi-dimensional approach to understanding meaning in communication. When you communicate with somebody, you understand language. This theory encompasses three complete key dimensions. What is it? Meaning theory, definition theory, and symbol theory. So semiotic theory now has more three theories, subtypes. According to the theory of meaning, words do not possess a single universally correct meaning, which is correct. Instead, meanings are subjective and reside within individuals. Something for me has a different meaning. I define it in a different way, and you might define it in a different way. So words do not have one meaning that is universally done. Either they can have many. This perspective acknowledges that words hold different interpretations for different people. Yes. Ogden and Richards further elaborated on this concept with definition theory. So the second now. It encompasses the ambiguity of language, and words can carry diverse meanings for different individuals, highlighting the complexity of communication. Again, the definition of one word, you define it in a different way, I define it in a different way, and Oxford can define it in a different way, Webster can define it in different ways. So what I'm trying to say is that it does not have universally one definition. For example, consider the hot word. Since there is a difference in the meaning of word between people, one would consider it as a weather condition. It's hot today, please turn on the air conditioner. The other one would understand as a sexually attractive person, right? She looks really hot. Meanwhile, if I ask the other person, she would say the food has too much spice, right? Too much masala, too much ingredients added. Finally, the symbol theory, third one given by Ogden and Richards, says that it develops that the evocation of images on the expression of words in communication. So symbol theory was developed that explained the evocation of images on the expression of words in communication, somewhat similarly to the sign theory. Remember that? If you do not, go and watch the video. Thus it says that there is a personal meaning based on the experience. Sign equals to signifier over signified. So sign is referring to the mental images based on the experience. Now the theory discussed above says that ultimately says towards the triangle theory, semiotic triangle, semantic triangle. So it refers to that. They categorize the terms of sign as natural representation of something beyond themselves, such as sound, whereas symbols are specialized. Yeah, if you remember, sounds are not the sound of a horn or a bus, okay? Whereas symbols are specialized types of signs such as text. In both the cases, signs and symbols are meaningless unto themselves. How? On one side we have thought or reference, one side we have symbol, one side we have referent. We are going to talk about these terms as well. So they are all connected, right? See, there cannot be a word alone in isolation. No, it always carries a meaning. It is always in relation to something. Okay, so this is what they say, that the terms of sign as natural representation of something beyond themselves, symbol as specialized types of sign. Let's go forward and clarify this thing. In the triangle above, the three factors involved with the statement or idea are placed in the corner. Remember? So this is a triangle. It is integrally involved in the process of meaning. The top of the triangle will be a symbol. Let's see where. This one? Of course. See, this is a triangle. You can turn it right, left. It is always going to be the same. A word. Another peak would be a thought, like words to describe a symbol. Okay. Eventually, the image we create in our mind will become a reference. For example, I say a vase, right? So a symbol of a vase is something else. The vase that the image created in the mind will be a reference, and it itself, the image of it, will be a symbol. Now, eventually, the image we create in our minds will become a reference. Using the semantic triangle or semiotic triangle, they believe that they have found a way to connect all the words to their meanings. Yes, it is always connected. Now, what is reference? What is referent and what is symbol? When we are going to talk about it, it will be clear in your mind. Reference. It represents the realm of memory where memories of past experiences and context occur. It's a reference to something. For example, I say that bench that we saw in the park that day. So it's a reference. Which bench, which park, which color. So these are the reference of things that will come in your mind. Referent. These are the things that are understood and thus make the impression. The things that are understood and make the impression stored in the thought area. When I say the bench, things that are understood. What kind of a bench it is it used for sitting or standing? Things like that will come into your mind. And symbol is the word that calls up the reference. So reference is the mental process where memories come in your mind. Okay, which one? Alright. Referent is the thing itself, and symbol is the word that calls up the referent to the mental process of reference. I hope it's clear now. There is a casual relationship between the thought and the symbol. This means that an attitude or the effect is evoked by the other person on the other person. Similarly, the relationship between the thought and the referent can be direct. For example, seeing something in front of us, or indirect, like we think about it. An image or idea about something. Meanwhile, the relationship between the referent and symbols entirely indirect, unstable, and is arbitrary. Arbitrary, it is not the one. It keeps on changing. Now, what were the limitations of conceptual theory of meaning? Now, see, whenever there is a theory, there can be criticism, right? So, let's see what were the criticisms on this one. Critics have identified several flaws in the linguistic theories proposed by Saussure, Ogden, and Richards. One major concern is that these theories rely on the physiological and often inaccessible concepts of associative bonds between words and their meanings, as individuals may not always mentally visualize and connect concepts as suggested. Definitely. So the critics says that it is not always the mental process. Sometimes you might not think about it or visualize it in your mind. You must just say it directly. Additionally, they also argue that these theories oversimplify communication by focusing solely on the word meanings, neglecting the significance of non-verbal communication cues and potential for the different interpretation based on the context. What about if I do not say any word and with the sign of finger I say close the door? Like, I'm just giving a sign. I'm not saying anything. And with just raising one eyebrow, I say something, right? Why only word? What about the non-verbal things? Furthermore, the idea that words only gain meaning in context challenges the validity of definition theory. Now, this is a very important thing. So, if we say that words only gain meaning in context, then what about the definition of the word? In sum, the critics contend that these theories fail to fully capture the complexities of human communication. So, that is one thing. So, conclusion says, in order to conclude everything that we have studied so far, Saussure stressed the close relationship between the signifier and the signified, with each influencing the other in the human mind through an associative link. He argued that these components are interdependent, emphasizing that a sign cannot exist without meaning, and meaning cannot exist without sound, so they are all connected. These ideas align with Ogden and Richards' emphasis on the arbitrary nature of linguistic sign. Both says they are arbitrary. And the idea that our knowledge of things precedes our understanding of associated signs, involving the mental images. Remember that. Overall, these concepts highlight the absence of any inherent or natural connection between language and the object it represents. That is a view shared by Aristotle and Losev. So, That was all for today. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you liked it. Leave your comments in the comment section and see you until tomorrow. Take care. Allah Hafiz.